Howard Coel truly hated him more than anyone. Howard Coel was born Howard William Cohen on March 25, 1918 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. His early life was full of school success, discipline, and big dreams. Coel graduated from New York University and later got a law degree from New School of Law before he worked in broadcasting. He had a career as a lawyer representing sports stars and up-and-coming athletes, which helped him understand the struggles athletes face and the sports world in general. This background in law would later shape his broadcasting style, where he was known for speaking honestly about fairness, ethics, and justice. Cosell started broadcasting almost by accident, but it soon became his life's work. In the 1950s, he began hosting a show that let him cover Little League Baseball for ABC Radio. And his sharp mind and unique voice, nasal, strong, and very East Coast, caught the attention of listeners and bosses. What made Coel special wasn't just the sound of his voice, but the way he used it with clear speech, a low-wire expression, and a desire to explain things instead of just calling the game. He didn't see sports as just games. He saw them as mirrors of life, human struggles, and drama. By the 1960 and 1970 seconds, Coel became famous through ABC Sports, especially as a key figure on Monday Night Football, which started in 1970 with Frank Gifford and Don Meredith. Coel helped make a new kind of sports broadcasting, mixing play-by-play with personality, analysis, and even fun talk. His presence on Monday Night Football made games big events, with millions tuning in not just for football but to Coel's sharp commentary. His style divided people. Many loved his honesty and smarts while others thought he was rude and arrogant. But no one ignored him. In broadcasting, getting attention shows true greatness. One of the biggest relationships of Coel's career was with Muhammad Ali. From the early days when Ali was still called Cassius Clay, Coel gave him not just coverage but respect and recognition. The two formed a special bond. Ali, the bold and charming boxer, and Coel, the smart and confrontation abreast, made some of the most memorable moments in sports TV. Their interviews were part show, part real talk, and they became symbols of a time when sports, politics, and race mixed together. Coel defended Ali's Coedo refused the draft during the Vietnam War, even when people disagreed, showing he cared more about principles than popularity. This friendship lifted both men, leaving a legacy of courage, loyalty, and influence. Coel also wasn't scared to talk about tough issues, using his platform to discuss racism, corruption, labor fights, and the feminine side of sports. While most broadcasters then only talked about the game, Coel changed that. He believed a broadcaster should not just entertain but also teach and challenge viewers. This thinking made him a pioneer of tell it like it is sports journalism. His critics often called him full of himself, but his fans saw him as a man of integrity who wouldn't be silenced or compromised. Besides football and boxing, Coel covered the Olympics, baseball, and many other sports. His voice had authority, and his style inspired new broadcasters who wanted to mix fun with serious talk. But even with success, he paid a personal price for being honest. His career often included fights with athletes, coaches, and even other broadcasters. Sometimes, his truthfulness pushed fans away who only wanted light, fun commentary. Still, risking popularity for truth showed the bravery that defined him. Coel retired from regular broadcasting in the mid-1980s, disappointed by the growing commercialization of sports and the drop in journalistic honesty. He had seen athletes become a corporate products and sports coverage turn into showbiz, and he missed the old authenticity. Even after leaving the spotlight, his influence stayed strong. Today, sports journalists and commentators study his voice and style, many saying he made it possible to be both a journalist and a personality in sports media. Howard Coel's personal life was depleted to his marriage to Mary Edith Abrams. Called Emmy, a woman who played an important but often quiet role in his life and career. They married in 1944. During World War II, a time of uncertainty and change, their marriage gave Coel stability and love as he started in law before becoming one of the most recognized voices in American sports. Emmy came from a supportive background and helped Howard pursue his dreams with confidence. She wasn't just in the background but a true partner, balancing his fiery personality, intelligence, and often controversial public image with warmth, calm, and loyalty. Their marriage lasted almost 50 years, outlasting the pressures of fame, travel, and the demanding life of a man at the center of sports and media. Emmy stayed with Coel from his start as a lawyer presenting Little League players to his early radio and TV years and through his peak fame on Monday Night Football and unforgettable boxing coverage with Muhammad Ali, while Howard's voice reached millions, and his bold, unapologetic style divided people. Emmy was the steady private force at his side, helping him recharge and face the public with energy. Cosell knew them said Emmy was his safe place, giving him the ability return to work strong. Their marriage had challenges, as fame often brings problems, but their bond stayed strong. Coel was known for being combative on air, challenging athletes, coaches, and sports institutions. Yet at home, he was devoted to Emmy, cherishing the normal life she gave him. They stayed together through both career highs and personal lows, including media criticism Howard faced. Tragedy hit in 1990 when Emmy died, ending a partnership of 46 years. Her death was a huge blow to Howard, who in public was bold and sharp, but in private had been anchored by her. Many close to him said he never fully recovered. His health declined after, even though remembered as a legendary broadcaster. His spark faded without Emmy. Their marriage is a proof of enduring love, showing a human side of a man who to the world seemed larger than life. When people think of the golden age of sports broadcasting, Howard Coel's name rises first. Larger than life, bold, opinionated, and with a voice that could cut through a stadium roar. Coel left a legacy full of brilliance and controversy. During his long career, he fought with athletes, coaches, and colleagues. But one man stands out as the one Coel could barely tolerate: Al Michaels. Coel never hid his feelings. About Michaels, he said sharply, "I can't stand working with him. He's all polish and no substance." To Coel, who prided himself on telling the truth, Michaels represented everything safe, agreeable, and boring in sports TV. Their styles were completely opposite. Al Michaels, younger and polished, was the smooth play-by-play guy. He had a calm voice, reassuring presence, and made sports coverage look easy. Fans loved his professionalism, his suspense building, and his famous 1980 Winter Olympics call, "Do you believe in miracles?" But to Coel, this wasn't greatness. He mocked Michaels' style, saying, "He's a cheerleader in a suit. He doesn't analyze. That's not journalism. It's decoration." Their time in the booth was tense. Coel, with his loud personality, would dominate conversations, interrupt colleagues, and add social or political commentary mid-game. Michaels, on the other hand, wanted focus on the field, the players, and the action. Coel once admitted, "He resented me for refusing to play the clown, but I wouldn't apologize. I was there to teach the audience, not babysit a game off camera." Their relationship was also tense. Meetings often became shouting matches, with Coel calling Michaels network-approved wallpaper and Michaels calling Coel an egomaniac. Crew members whispered about the icy silence after arguments, only to see them act professional when live. The dislike wasn't one-sided. Michaels never forgave Coel for public criticism, saying, "Howard thinks he's the only smart broadcaster. He doesn't respect that my job is different." But Coel wore this criticism like a badge. He loved confrontation, and Michaels reminded him of the type of broadcaster he hated: safe, smooth, and unwilling to push boundaries. Viewers often loved the drama. The tension between them added a strange excitement to broadcasts. Some fans tuned in as much for the sniping and interruptions as the games. "People loved to watch us because they could feel the heat," Coel said, "but don't mistake that for friendship. I respected the craft, but I hated the man." Even late in his career, Coel looked back at Michaels with bitterness. In one of his last interviews, he waved his hand dismissively. "He'll be remembered for one line in Lake Placid. I'll be remembered for changing the way America talked about sports." That's the difference. To Coel, the dislike never went away. Michaels represented the broadcasting style he fought against his whole life, smoothing over controversy instead of exposing it. Coel's hatred for Michaels became a symbol of his fight against the sports media world. He wanted to shake audiences awake, believed sports needed serious analysis, and had no patience for safe broadcasters. Michaels went on to have a long, celebrated career loved by fans. But for Coel, nothing changed. Michaels was the one man he truly, deeply hated: Howard Coel. The legendary and often controversial American sports voice died on April 23, 1995 at the Hospital for Joint Diseases in Manhattan. The cause was a cardiac embolism, a blood clot blocking the heart, a sudden and often fatal event. Coel was 77, ending a life and career spanning nearly 80 years, leaving a lasting mark on sports media, pop culture, and American life. His final years saw declining health, very different from his fiery energy and booming voice in the booth. He had battled illnesses including cancer and was seen less in public. For a man who once dominated airwaves with bold opinions, this retreat was deeply felt by colleagues, athletes, and fans. His death marked not just a man passing, but the end of an era in sports journalism where Coel had changed broadcasting by discussing race, politics, and society, not just games. After his death, Coel was buried at West Hampton Cemetery in West Hampton, New York, a calm and quiet place unlike his dramatic life. The cemetery on Long Island became a place for family, friends, and fans to say goodbye. His funeral drew attention because of his fame, and many athletes, broadcasters, and cultural figures remembered his legacy, saying that while he was divisive, he was also irreplaceable.